What is up, good people? Crypto Prepper here. Today is Friday, January 9th, 2026. Today, we are doing a very special coin. Litecoin is the next on our list. We've done all of these so far, except for these couple ones that couldn't find on a US exchange. And of course, we're not going to do a stable coin. So we've got Litecoin today, and this is special because it rounds out our top 20 um, series here. And also, Litecoin holds a special place in my heart because it was the first one that I went pretty heavy in back in 2017. So I don't have much Litecoin anymore, but this was also interesting because we did a Bitsgap back test for trading bot on DCA bot for on Coinbase and Kraken. So another reason this was interesting is because Coinbase actually outperformed Kraken on this bot, even with its higher, um, like the trading fee here you can see is basically doubled on Coinbase versus Kraken. But in this bot with these settings, um, it actually outperformed. So let's go through. We got 48% return on Coinbase and 42.5 on Kraken. So we're going to take you through these settings that we used, and you'll see uh, um, we use the same settings at least to start out here with everything like we always do. $1,000 investment. We click down here. If this doesn't drop down, you just click manual adjustment, bot settings. Our base order places immediately at 31.25 with the following five orders being uh, totaling 968.75 to round out that 1,000. You add those two together. So we always have this the same. Averaging orders quantity is 5. Averaging orders step percent. I usually start this out at 5, and then as I do my back test, I adjust to find a good middle ground. Um, where we have a good return and also good activity with not having to wait more than a month is my usual thing. 2 weeks if I can, where we're seeing some activity in the bot. Anyway, our amount multiplier here is doubled, so each line doubles as we go down, and our step multiplier is off. Our take profit is 5%. That's what we usually start out with. And this is the one thing that can be changed even after you've got your bot running. If you want to change this for whatever reason, you can. The other settings that we've gone through so far, you cannot once you've set this up. Pump dump protection off, which is another one where you cannot change it. So, all right. So you can see I've already ran a back test. I showed you how that looked when we set that up. And I'll show you why I went with 5.5 here instead of 5, which we usually start out with, and versus 6, which we've done the past couple of bots. We've had pretty good returns with a 6% step percent. So look at this, 48.04. And if we change that to 5, you can see that shrinks those down. We'll run a back test on this and see if we can beat that 48. So it beat it out a little bit, not a lot, but the reason I didn't do 5 is because we've gone from November 20th until now where we haven't seen any activity. So we're looking at like it's going to have to get back up to probably 93, 94, because it's doubling every order. So our DCA should be right here about 94 bucks. And it hasn't got up there so far yet. So if it continues to drop, that's not going to be good for this bot. So that's where I tried 6 because that's what's been working in the past few bots, been working pretty good at 6%. 35% is quite a bit worse than what we got, and it didn't help our um, chart here. So November 30th instead of November 20th, but still, we haven't seen it take any profit. You know, it would have been nice if it took some profit right here, but it didn't. So then I worked my way up and down, back and forth, spent a few minutes on it, and settled on the 5.5 setting, which we saw that it was set on earlier with 48.04. And we've seen some recent activity here. You know, it purchased its last one here on the 18th, and then we had to wait until January 2nd for it to take profit. So it took profit, purchased again, took some more profit, purchased again, and it's purchased again. And so it's got four more lines. So you're pretty close to having your original $1,000, which we start these bots out with. If you were to set up this bot 365 days ago with these settings, you still have approximately $1,000 in your bot to work with to continue making you money using Litecoin. Plus, you have $480 in your wallet. All right. So this one, 48% is pretty damn good. You know, you're not going to get that in a bank. You're not going to get that staking. So it is, and that is all while Litecoin has gone down from when the bot started with this back test at 102 down to 81. So with as high as 140. So saw a lot of nice activity here in those first 2 months, and then it's kind of been flat ever since. I guess it did get back up to about that 130-ish range there. Oh, and a little higher there. So it hasn't been too boring. You know, 48% is yeah, is pretty freaking awesome. So let's pop over to Kraken, and you can see I'll show you the same bot settings here after we go through and look at our chart. You know, we went just a couple weeks there, so that's not anything to worry about. We saw May 30th. So about a month there, so that's not ideal, but still 42% is you know, just amazing that you can get this just by holding your LTC in this bot with these settings and just holding it on the exchange, and it's buying and selling all the time. It takes all the emotions out of it. And if you were to, I didn't talk about this on Coinbase, but it's going to be the same way. You bought $1,000. Say you bought it at say you bought it at 100. I don't care. Let's just make the math easy. You bought 10 Litecoin at $100 each. You know, to have 1,000. Now you still have. If you were to just buy and hold, you have 10 Litecoin, but they're only worth $810, 812. But with this bot, you were to put that in the bot and it's gone down, but you still have a pretty close to $1,000 in your bot to work with, plus $425 to do whatever else you want to do with. So basically, you know, you're not quite double to what you would have been in dollar value while the price has gone down. So anyway, let's go through the settings just so you can verify that I use the same ones on Kraken so that I'm comparing apples to apples. We did $1,000 investment here, just like the other, 31.25, 968.75. And those are always the same, always the same on the averaging orders quantity that we do on all of these bots and that I show in these videos. And our amount, the only thing that's changed here was that averaging order step percent. So just like on Coinbase, I used 5.5, and the other back tests were pretty similar to what we saw on Coinbase, where it wasn't quite ideal. Amount to multiplier here is at x2 and step multipliers off. Our take profit is at 5. No stop loss and no pump dump protection. The stop loss doesn't default as on, but this pump dump protection does. And you can see here it had the back test of 42.52. So let's just, for shits and giggles, let's turn this pump dump protection on and see if that changes at 42.52. Wow. Okay. So that's interesting. This is good to know that it actually increased the the return just a little bit. An extra $10 over the year. So typically that pump dump protection um it maximizes risk, yes, but it also maximizes gain too. So this is interesting. I don't usually toggle that back and forth and run backtest on it. So that's something that you might want to do when you're setting up your own bots. And if you did want to start playing around with Bitsgap platform, I'm going to leave my affiliate link in the description, and you can start playing around with that for free. And then I'm going to switch over to this bright screen, so watch your eyes. You can do it as little as $23 a month if you buy the annual basic plan, or if you just want to do month to month, it's $29 a month. And if I have my handy calculator out here, and if you were to set up these bots at $1,000 each, say you were to set up that one on Coinbase or Kraken, and say you got that 42% gain on using Litecoin, that's gonna get you that $423 or whatever it was. But this plan at $29 a month is going to cost you $348. So basically, if you have $1,000 to put in a bot that can make that 40% like that Litecoin one has, or if you watch the previous videos, you can make even more. And that bot profit actually basically pays for your plan plus more, and that also gives you the confidence to put more in. So you can have up to 10 active DCA bots with this basic plan. The really not bad thing, but the thing where it's kind of a bummer is you can only backtest up to 30 days. So that doesn't give you a whole lot. But that's why I'm doing these videos where I'm doing a 365-day backtest, because I've got the pro plan. But I started out with the advanced and ran that for 4 years, and I'm never going to even max out 50 DCA bots, or let alone 250. But being able to access more of these settings, and specifically that 365-day back test, is pretty damn nice. And then another thing to keep in mind too is if you do start out with this basic plan, and then get your confidence up, build your portfolio up, it's nice to upgrade to the advanced. And if you can wait to do that during their Black Friday sale every year, they do a Black Friday sale where you pay for the year and you get 50% off. So it makes it pretty damn worthwhile. And that's what I did when I upgraded to Pro also. So, all right. Well, hopefully you enjoyed this video. And this was quite a milestone here. We did the top 20 and finished out with, one of my, not really my favorite anymore, but one that I really fell in love with crypto because of Litecoin. Saw that the speed and the cost of sending transactions did not have to be 30, $60 like when you have to make a wire to bank. And of course, that was way back in 2017. So since then, they may have changed that and all that. But anyway, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you want to see more, and leave your favorite coin in the comments. See you in the next one.